Do you struggle with a loved one who's isolating, they're in their room, they won't connect with you at all? Do you feel anxious and frustrated that you can't break through to them? In a previous video, I talked about a technique called the ring and run technique, designed to break through to your loved one and draw them out of their room. And afterwards, I received some wonderful feedback of people trying it out, but more importantly, somebody pointed out this. In essence, this can't be a one-off. You can't just do this once and then give up on it and go back to the old way. So today, we're going to talk about how to make that approach of breaking through effective for your loved one to get the biggest bang for your buck. And at the end, I'm going to talk about how providers, those in hospitals, on team-based approaches, even individual practitioners can apply this very technique in your own work. Hi, I'm Dr. Aaron Brennan. I'm a psychologist and I'm a co-creator of recovery-oriented cognitive therapy. And today, I want to follow up on my previous video, this one here, that focuses in on how to break through to your loved one and draw them out, the very first step on getting back on their recovery trip. And I want to thank Ian and I want to thank Paul for bringing up these very good points about how to improve this approach. In my previous video, we talked about how when we approach individuals in this patient-focused way, either asking about their medicine, their treatment, or even just saying, "How are you today?" those individuals are likely to retreat back into their room or be less likely to communicate. It's not enough to break through to the individual. So what we talked about was going up and having these quick interactions that include exciting, pleasurable topics or activities or things you can do together to really prime that individual for interacting, versus priming them to being intruded upon about their treatment. And the way I described it, it's like when you were younger and you used to ring the bell and then run away. It reduces the overall demand on the individual and it gives them a chance to come and connect with you. So I was asked the question, is this just a one and done? So a really good point was brought up, that this isn't something that you can do one time and then knock it off. This is something that's about consistency. We need to go and interact with the individual over and over and over again. So the first time you go to the door, they might not answer. The second time, they might not answer. The 102nd time, they might not answer. But it's about coming back consistently and using this approach, this person-centered approach, to draw them out of their room and start that interacting process. We can think of it a lot like physical therapy. You'll do an exercise the first time and your pain might not go away. You'll do it the second time and the pain might not go away. But over successive approaches and with adjusting the approach to get more out of the physical therapy, eventually the pain or the problem can subside. So when you're using the ring and run approach, you might start by talking about a TV show, and then you might talk about cooking or gardening or music. So you're going to continue to be consistent in the way that you're approaching the person, but you're going to shift up to see if you can get a better effect with subsequent ring and runs. This next part can be difficult. Many of you who are watching this might have been at this rodeo for a very long time. You've tried to approach loved ones or people that you're serving over and over and over again, and you might feel demoralized. The number one feedback I get from providers when they observe me doing this kind of work isn't that I'm particularly smart or good or knowledgeable. It's that I'm persistent. I am like a dog on a bone. I will go and attempt to engage the person over and over and over and over again. I ring and run until I have blisters on my fingers. And so as we're going in and trying this new approach, the first piece is consistency, but the second piece is persistence. Trying over and over and over again. Many times we expect this huge change where the individual comes out and is excited to do these things. So the next thing we want to do is look for the small changes. If you are going to build a campfire, you're not going to just throw a bunch of logs down and expect the flames to just burst forward. What are you going to do? You're going to pull together small sticks and small kindling, and you look for the little bits of smoke, the little bits of sparks, and then you're going to build on those. Get oxygen to the fire that's burning. Eventually, if you take your time and have that patience and persistence, you have a beautiful fire that's burning. The same is true for this approach. Don't look for the big flames. Look for the really small sparks and attend to those. So if you play some music and your loved one shifts their eyes, that's a spark. If you talk about baking cookies and your loved one says, "I might want one," that's a spark. So look for the small sparks and then keep focusing in those areas. Importantly, when you do have a loved one come and connect with you in some way, maybe they sit and watch you make cookies, maybe they watch the show with you, maybe they listen to the song together, or put a thumbs up for the reel that you sent them. When those things happen, it's important that very casually you label that experience. For example, if your loved one comes down halfway through the TV show you're watching and sits somewhere on the couch, at the end, you might just label that. Hey, it was great watching the show with you. I really enjoyed watching it with somebody else. Thanks for doing it. So you're labeling what you did and you're labeling the impact it had on you. Over time, as the loved one comes out more and more regularly, you might start noticing changes. So for example, if you go for a walk together, you might point out, hey, I feel better after a walk. I feel a little bit more energized. How about you? Or, oh, hey, this was fun doing together. How was it for you? So you're eliciting, is there a change for the individual? Are they gathering a benefit from connecting during these ring and runs? This is setting the stage for ultimate learning about the benefits of activity. That when you do more, you feel better, and when you do less, you feel worse. I know that many of you have been on this journey for a very long time. And so at first, you might not notice the benefit of ring and run. You may not even feel like you're getting anything out of it, or if you're doing anything important. But the ring and run approach is likely better than that patient-focused approach. The individuals can be more likely to interact with you, and with consistency, and the individual regularly getting used to you coming and interacting with them as a person, eventually they're going to associate interactions with you with pleasure, mastery, and a good social time. It's good old-fashioned classical conditioning. So to summarize, my friend Ian was totally right. You can't just do it one time. We need to be consistent. And we need to be consistent both in showing up and consistent in the approach that we're using. 2, we need to be persistent, doing it over and over and over again, but always changing up just a little bit to see where we get a better spark. 3, we want to label and help the individual start learning from those experiences. And with that, we're setting a better ground for interacting with our loved ones. For my friends out there who are providers and working in systems like hospitals, team-based approaches, or even individual practitioners, the ring and run approach works wonderfully. In a hospital, every provider on the floor can ring and run as they go past the individuals there, consistently changing and interacting with the individual. You can set people up to do this Q15, meaning every 15 minutes, we should be walking by and doing a ring and run with individuals across the unit. And same thing, as we're doing those ring and runs, we can label when the individual comes out, helping them notice that they feel better when they do more and that they feel worse when they're doing less. And just like ice cream, if a little's good, a lot's gotta be better. I hope this was helpful. If it was, leave a comment below of what ring and run technique you use to break through to your loved one. Who knows, you might help somebody else who's trying to figure out how to break through. And if you want more practical strategies for living well with psychosis, check out my book, Living Well with Psychosis. It's available anywhere you can buy books. It's about breaking down this experience so we can get back to living the life that you want. And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment on this video, and share it with somebody who might benefit. Let's grow this recovery community so we can be better at serving the individuals that we care so much about. If this was helpful, check out this playlist with other strategies for breaking through to loved ones. Thanks for joining me today. Be well.